Hi, you're a Sharcher from BuzzWordOfficial.wordpress.com, and I wanted to make a video for my series 1,000,001 Reasons to Learn Astrology. And just really quick, I just wanted to get the point across that whenever you have your astrology birth chart, it's you can have some similarities of like yours and someone else's, some things in the charts, but like it's really like specific to you. Like no two people are the same, even if they have stuff in common. So each person's astrology birth chart is different, and all the aspects and everything else, in the natal chart, like it makes the person a certain way, it's not just a planet in a zodiac sign, it's way more complex than that, and even way more complex than just aspects and stuff. But so whenever I wanted to talk about synastry, though, two people relating to each other, and how people relate to each other. So the point is, whenever you have synastry with one person, and good and bad things are happening a certain way, it's the reason to learn astrology is because whenever you like you want like let's say if there's issues to work out between people and you want people to be loyal to you, one person, like let's say there's 3 people somehow, or 5 or more, whatever, like 2 people with synastry, and then this third person has different synastry with that person and that person, and their synastry is different. Like none of the 2 people's synastry together is the same as the other ones, even if there's an aspect that is the same, or whatever like that. And it's really important to keep that in mind, because like your whole thought process towards the person and feelings and everything, is gonna be so different than the other person's, like whenever you're expecting someone to see your point of view, like about the aspect you have with the person that the other person doesn't have with that person, it's like, how do you expect someone to see exactly what is going on? Like, obviously, you can understand the words that are coming out of your mouth and logic and stuff. You can maybe like see the 2 points of views or something, but other than that, like, you're not going to really get it, like not on a deep level, like as if it's your synastry, because you don't have that, most likely. There can be some similarities, like I said, but it's most likely probably not. Maybe, there's a big chance that it's not sometimes, So, like, really keep that in mind whenever, like, sometimes, I'm just going to say this part of the video just to get my point across, because this is a professional video about a subject. It's a series. It's not anything specific. It's just something that crosses my mind sometimes about people relating to each other. So whenever you're throwing a baby fit at someone to, like understand you about your synastry that you have with someone else, and that person has different synastry with them, like seriously, like get over it, because like you get my point, seriously, it's so easy to understand my point about this, it's there's nothing to it. So keep that in mind about people's synastry and composite charts, because it's so complex of a subject, it's nothing simple about it, not one layer about it. It's so deep. And like astrology synastry, whether it's romantic or not, long term or not, or friends or not, or co-workers or siblings or other relatives or you know whatever, like, and all sorts of things in this industry, like soulmate aspects and all that stuff, reasons for it. You know, if you can get to the root of things in your industry with people, that's great, and so you can have an understanding about you two and yourself and be a person, like work on being a person. And but don't expect other people to like really deeply like get it what you're going through with the other person. Like, don't expect other people to be so loyal to you that they just really get your half of like one synastry aspect, because most likely they probably maybe don't have that exact one with the person. They very well could somewhat, but especially like Pluto synastry, that's somewhat can be the same, but sometimes there's certain aspects that some people just don't have with tons of people. And that can be for any kind of aspect, really. But and then there's the good ones that aren't issues, like really just some great fun getting along close kind of aspect, or planet in the house in synergy or something where like the two people just really click and get each other, like don't expect like someone to like be so understanding of that, like on a deep level, like they're really gonna like understand, unless they're actively trying to and really understand astrology or something, that can be one way you really can get people. But saying, that people don't necessarily understand much astrology, maybe, or, whatever else I just said, like, don't get so wrapped up in your own thoughts that you get all bothered about, like, people having synergy with each other, and, like, that you don't get all bothered about the fact that people understand each other, and then like they might not get you about your certain point of view about something, or stuff like that, like, I mean, like, have more of an adult way of thinking about synergy, because it's really being blunt about this is the point. It's really an important thing to do sometimes, because like no one needs to be so loyal to you about synergy that you have with one person that they don't maybe have, one aspect or something difficult or easy or whatever. Like, there's plenty of things you can have in common with people in synergy that other people have, or, whatever. But there's oftentimes plenty of aspects in the synergy that other people don't have with them. And so, like, really, like, just keep that in mind when you have like relationships with people, and like like your way of thinking and feeling and all that, like sort it out in your own mind with logic, like don't get it so wrapped up and beside yourself in your your thinking and your feelings and your Pluto issues with yourself or the people, the person that you have synergy with, like in such a certain example I gave, like don't get so wrapped up that you think other people are really gonna like not like uh, whatever, like have synergy with that person still, because you want them to be more loyal to you or something like. And I do put somewhat of my personal experiences into this, so I'm just saying, like, if I have synergy with someone, and we get along fine or whatever, and have some kind of connection where, like, there's some kind of, emotional connection, or we get each other somehow, or, whatever, like, don't expect them to not have that with me all of a sudden, because you're beside yourself at the moment, because you want them to be loyal to you, because you know whatever some aspect we have is like difficult, and there's issues to sort out between us, and like, have more logic, like, the synastry is so complex that, like, and like I said, even if two people have similar synastry with these this you know one person from here, and then this person with this person, have some aspects in common with them, like I said, like, keep in mind that, like, your overall synastry and composite chart is basically, it's just different, and it's just so really complex that you need to really get what's going on in synastry. Like, you really need to know that there is such a thing, and that people, are around, or a certain way around each other because of their own synastry. Like, it's not like because of nothing. It's for a reason. It's for, it's about astrology. It, it's just like really basic to understand, but it's such a complex, subject. And I just really wish people would, get a grasp on this subject in their own minds. Like, it, the thing to really grasp about this is it's so simple to understand, and it's such basic, logic. It's like, you know, a little child could explain this to you. It's so easy to understand. And I get sick of seeing people throwing fits at me when I have synergy with people, and like, because they want me to be more loyal to them, and like, I mean, people in my family have even done this to each other. And it's like, seriously, like, act like an adult. Like, I can have synergy with someone. Like, it's not your business if I do that. Like, like, and the other thing is, like, you don't control it. Like, you don't have that power. Like, there can be influence in synastry about people, about, all sorts of complex things going on, but one person alone does not hold some special power to make two people not have synastry. It's like, it doesn't happen, and even if you want to have opinions, like, whatever, okay, but like, don't be so wrapped up in your thoughts that you think, like, that I'm not gonna just be myself, like, or that anyone's not going to, like, you know whenever you're a part of the synergy you have with anyone, like any two people, tons of people you have synergy with, like, don't think someone's gonna care so much that, like, unless people are caring about stuff, because that does happen in life. But I'm saying, because we all have friendships and loyalty and love and whatever, but I'm saying, like, if you're just throwing a fit at someone just because you want them to have synergy with you, not the next person, it's like, really, like, You need to be using more logic than that and thinking, like you don't control people. You don't make them not have synastry because you throw a fit about something. It just doesn't happen, you know. So you need to like keep that in mind, like not like throw fits at people because you want them to pay attention to you more, and whenever they truly want to like be like nice to someone else, and whatever, like don't act like you're gonna control that and like stop that from happening, because everyone's allowed to be nice to people, like, and I'm not saying I don't ever have Pluto issues of my own and with people, because I certainly do, but it's something to work on, like once you see a problem, you deal with it the best you can, or somewhat to a certain degree, a little bit, put a little bit of effort into it somehow. I try to do that some, like, like everyone needs to do that, and like whenever I'm being real with people and I'm, like where anyone is, if they truly, wanna like have synastry with someone, like be a part of the synastry that they do have with someone, like, you're not gonna stop that. Like it's just not gonna happen. If the two people want to, or the one person is just being nice to the person, or you know, two people don't always have to be doing nice things simultaneously, like for it to be synastry at the same time, right? All the time, like it's a back and forth thing sometimes, or whatever. But like if I'm being nice to someone, or someone else is, and like seriously, like don't act like you can control that. Like if I'm truly being honest with you, and you know I let you know what I think of someone or whatever, or if I want to be nice to someone, like I have enough like respect for people that you like get to know a person, and that I issue with people, because it's like Pluto square Mars, or Pluto square something crazy in synastry that makes that happen a lot. Like when it's like you have like really obsessive crazy Pluto crap going on with you and people, it's not like one of the easier aspects. Pluto square Mars is one where it's one of the craziest aspects to have. Pluto square Saturn, maybe, or something like that, or Saturn square Mars, or it's not all Pluto, but the Pluto issues can come up in any synastry aspects, if it's difficult things going on. So like really, like whenever I don't have that aspect with other people, like don't act like I'm supposed to or something, and like we're gonna like have big fights, like you and me could, whoever you and me happens to be, or you and anyone, just for an example of what I'm talking about, because not all aspects are going to be crazy, things going on, definitely Pluto, can be, and somewhat Saturn and Uranus even, or whatever, stuff like that. It's like not all the aspects, not near all the aspects are going to be anywhere near crazy, but some of those can be. And so like don't expect me to have the same synergy with other people when I don't, like some aspects, like some Pluto aspects I might have with this person or that person, but there are specific things that need to come up in life that you need to that need to happen, that you need to deal with, like it happens for a reason. And so it's like whenever that happens, like the the eighth house, that's Pluto, Scorpio, Mars, it's like it brings up stuff that you to give you an opportunity to deal with, and be able to work things out with people, like I was saying, don't expect me to have such crazy aspects with everyone that I have synergy with, or anyone else, like because it's just not how it works. The two people's synastry is, really complex, and there can be difficult things in everyone's synastry. If there's any kind of ongoing relating to each other, there definitely is. Because if it's not an ongoing thing, it was probably just trying, and it was just for a day or whatever time where it was just some breath of fresh air. Like, that's trying kind of things going on. But the difficult things, that's the long-term relationships you have. Like, the long-term relationships you have aren't just ever going to be anything easy. Any long-term, any amount of ongoing relating to people is always going to have difficult synastry somewhat, and somehow or another, like some aspects. So whenever you have ongoing synastry with people, like on whatever level it is, however, whatever kind of relating to each other that it is, like, it's for a reason, and you need to, like, accept that, people are human beings and they're allowed to have synastry with people. So, like, don't expect people to not have synastry with people. And I'm somewhat talking to everyone myself. It's not just for one specific person, but it's just because I'm a professional astrologer and I'm used to it. I get it. I'm more prone to thinking in an astrology way and accepting it, than some that might not know about it, as much. So I am somewhat talking to people that are like that don't know about it as much, but it's for everyone though. So, like I was saying, whatever I've already said is the point of this video. So, like, keep that in mind. Like, synastry is two people's birth charts, not three people, not not two people relating to one person, not a stand-in, back and forth thing. It's just, that doesn't happen, or five people or whatever. Like, you only have synastry with one person at a time. A synastry chart, like the chart, two people relating to each other, whether you know it's a synastry chart or not, it is. So in a synastry chart, there's only ever two people in one chart, like I just said. There can't ever be more than two people in that kind of relating. It just doesn't happen. And like I said, because each two people have a different set of synastry, So, like, have enough guts to, like, just act like a normal person and let people have synastry, because it happens anyway, So anyway, that's just something to keep in mind, because it's such an important subject, but it's so easy to understand. It's ridiculous. So if I want to add to this video, which maybe I will, then I will make another video, but that's it for now. But I'll be making more videos soon. And feel free to comment on this video if you want.